Welcome back. It's been a long time. I know you missed me. I heard from all the comments and the emails and everything else, and I've missed you too. It's Dan the Pasta Man, back for another adventure in the kitchen. So tonight we're making homemade fettuccine, and we're going to make carbonara, pasta carbonara. So we're going to start with the pasta. We start off with 285 milligrams of all-purpose flour, same thing, 285 of semolina. Then we add 40 milligrams of olive oil, or milliliters, I guess, of olive oil. We add 250 milligrams of eggs, a little bit of salt, and here we're going to put it into the mixer. Okay, as we said, we're going to go ahead and start mixing the flour and eggs to make the pasta. This is our classic family recipe that's been in the family for generations. So we start off slow and then we keep going. And as we need to, we can add a little bit of water. So with the magic of video cameras, now the dough is done. So now what we do is we went to college. We're gonna cut the dough basically into quarters, and we're going to then put it through the pasta roller, okay? And what you wanna do first is get a good floured surface. I have this little tool here. We bought this for my youngest daughter, Elizabeth. This is her favorite part of the whole job when we make pasta. She's the flour wizard, so that's what we do. And you gotta kind of roll it down, or punch it down, if you will, so that it can go through the rollers. And we put it through multiple times through the rollers as it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And I've got a motor. This is your basic Mercato Atlas pasta machine that I think every Italian is issued at birth. This is my second one. I burned up the first one, but we make a lot of pasta, so that's okay. So what we're going to do is just start slow and go ahead and put this through, and then see what happens. You see here, it's a little dry, a little thick. I keep saying that right. You typically go through. I didn't push it or thin it out enough, so that's why you're seeing it do this. And that's good for you to know. This is not how not to make pasta. But we'll put it through. Okay. Way too thick. With this, thinning it out. We just keep going progressively thinner. You can use this type. I also have one for my KitchenAid mixer that we can use. I typically save that for the gluten-free stuff. And I started making these shorter when we make the fettuccine, because the fettuccine gets out of hand if you make it too long. So there we go. That's what it looks like. And we'll come back in a couple of minutes when it's time to do actually cut the fettuccine, which we'll do with this contraption here. So don't go away. Okay, so now we're going to make the fettuccine. See, we made some already. We're going to start now. Okay, and then our last piece here. You can see this gets kind of long. So what we'll do a lot is just cut it in half. And we have this thing here we also use to help dry it. And that's really what it's all about. So that's making pasta. It's very simple. You can see that this was not my best batch of pasta I've ever made by a long stretch. So, but it still turns out, okay? So that's the key thing, is even if pasta is not perfect, it's still great. You can still use it. So that's where we are. We're gonna break, we're gonna set up the carbonara, and we're gonna start making that next, okay? Until next time, ciao. Okay, welcome back. We're making carbonara. So what we got here is tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, Italian extra virgin olive oil. Does it have to be Italian? Do you want it to taste good? Yes, it has to be Italian. Okay, and this is what I use. Why do I use this? One of many I used, but because my ancestors helped form that company. And into that, we put 2 ounces each of pancetta and dry salami, diced up. Well, let's cut that. Cut. Shut it off. Okay, as I said, 2 ounces each of dry salami and pancetta. And as I said, I use Filippo Berrio extra virgin olive oil. And to that, we're going to put some garlic in just a minute. We let this render the fat down. You can see the water's boiling. Normally, if we were using boxed pasta, that was previously dried, we would put that in now. But because this is fresh pasta, literally made 10 minutes ago, it only needs to cook for literally 30 seconds a minute or so. So we're gonna do that in a couple minutes. Okay. So as this starts to brown, you add your 2 cloves of garlic. Your peas, because what would carbonara be without peas? And then about a half tablespoon of salt. This is a very quick dish to make, as you can see. I've already added salt to the water, and we're going to let that go for a couple minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and put the pasta in while we're waiting. So what we do is just take enough for, I'm making 3 servings. I'm just going to grab a bunch here. As you can see, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And that's about enough. You can see that. We're going to dump it in here. And literally in about a minute it's going to be done. Stir that up. Peas and everything are brown and nice. Pancetta's bringing out fat. Garlic's getting nice and toasty. Put We made that a little, like that a little finer, but that's okay. And what we do is, once the pasta is ready, we're going to literally pull it out, dump it right in here, turn off the heat on the pot here, and then we're going to add the cream, and then add the egg and Parmesan. So I took a cup of 24-month Parmesan cheese and 2 eggs, and I made kind of a slurry here, and that's going to go on. And just to let you know what kind of Parmesan we use, this is what we use. It's only 24 months from, I get it from Costco, believe it or not. It's like $17, $18, that's it. It's from Italy, it's the way to go. So that's boiling again. That's literally done. Now, the big question is, can Dan take this out without burning himself? Odds are no, but we're going to try it. Okay. So nice golden pasta. We dump that in there. And our string is intact because I just burned my arm. That's okay. That's why having a daughter who's an ER nurse is good. I'll be okay. So, now we're done with that. Now we add the cream. So that's heavy, 3/4 of a cup heavy whipping cream. Or heavy cream, or whatever you want to say. We stir it all together. And then we add the Parmesan and egg slurry. We mix it together. Generally speaking, you want this off the heat. Make sure I turn that off. So it doesn't continue to cook. You want it to kind of congeal, which takes a minute or two. Just make it good and mix together. Most people will tell you then serve it right away. I like to wait a couple minutes. 1, because it's piping hot. 2, as it cools, it gels together better, and it makes for a better meal, I think. So, there you go. And now, you take your handy dandy pasta bowl, you make sure everything's coated, super nice. Which it is. And then we put it on the plate. Kind of mix it together. And then that's pretty much it. So just the finishing touch, which is some extra Parmesan, because if you're like my wife, the whole reason for having anything is to put Parmesan cheese on it. So, there you go. Should have used a little more pasta probably, but that's okay. And here you go. And I'll just put that parm on there. And there you go. That's Cheryl's right there. And then this is Christopher's. Until next time, ciao.